To my mom's guide to organizing your family photos. I am talking about Lightroom, specifically today Lightroom Classic CC, and I'm going to show you how to get started here by creating a new catalog and importing some photos. So the first thing you want to do is go up here to File and create New Catalog. Click New Catalog. I've already got a catalog open here that I'm working from, so you see a little preview. But it's going to open a box of all your folders, Finder, whatever you call it. If you're working on a PC, it's different. And I have a folder just for Lightroom catalogs that I store within my photograph folder. So you can set that up however you'd like that to be on your hard drive. I have lots of folders for Lightroom because I create a new catalog every year. I also have different catalogs for certain things like my master portfolio, any images I get from backup photographers. Isla has her own catalog that she likes to edit her photos with. That's my daughter. And then I have other stuff too. So you're going to name your folder whatever makes sense to you, or name your catalog whatever makes sense to you. If you're just working with phone images or small JPEG images from a point-and-shoot camera, you probably don't need a catalog for each year. You can probably get away with, 5 or 10 years in one catalog, however you want to do it. When you need to make a new catalog is when your catalog starts to slow down and get really laggy. I work with a lot of files, a lot of very large files as a photographer, so if I try to fit too many in one catalog, it will be very slow and hard to use. So like I said, if you aren't working with raw files or large files, you can get away with probably everything that's already on your hard drive, uploading it to one catalog. So I'm just going to name this something to delete real quick. Yes, baby?
There was brown stuff in the banana that I was eating.
It's okay, sweetie. It won't hurt you. Go watch TV.
And I just spit it in the trash can.
Okay. Sorry, my kids are here. So I want to delete this later, so I'm just going to name it something so I'll know if I can spell right. Gosh. This is embarrassing. Okay. And create. It's going to ask me to exit the catalog that I'm using currently. And then it's just going to, you see the post that I'm writing here. And it's going to open up that new catalog for me. It's thinking. It's coming, and it's going to populate this catalog for you automatically. And if you need to find it ever, you can always go back to your Finder window and it will be in the folder that you put it in when you named it. All right, so we've got our brand new empty blank catalog here. And the first thing we need to do is import some folders, or import some pictures. So if you already have images on your hard drive, you go down here to the Import button. You can also go to File, Import Photos and Video. And that is going to pull up the import window for you. So if you already have images on your computer, I'm going to go, well, it's populating what's in my card, so I'll just use that for now. Okay, so I have a card plugged into my computer from my camera. This is just a little family trip that we went on to Mariana Caverns. Oh, it's also got some client photos on there. So the first thing I like to do is click Uncheck All. And then I'm going to click on the first one. And I'm going to find all the photos in that series. And I'm going to hold down the Shift key and click on the last one in that series. And then I'm going to hit check. All right. So you'll notice over here that we have some options. We have some options for file handling. The presets are going to be sufficient for you. So however it's set up initially is fine. You don't really need to change anything there. You might want to change how your files are named. I like to name my files like this. So I set up a custom setting template. They have some presets in here for you that you can choose from, but I like to set up a custom one that starts with the date, my custom text, and then the sequence number of the image. And you can add these little boxes by hitting the insert buttons here. So if I want to insert file name, that's what the file is already named, but I don't. I want to keep it just like this. And then you can hit done and it'll ask you to save it for future use. I already have one set up, so I'm just going to use that, and it gives me this little box to insert my custom text. So I'm going to name it something like Mariana Caverns, because that's where we are. I have no idea if I spelled that right. All right, and then you have a start number here. I always start with 1 unless I have multiple cards from the same session. So if I had a session and I had to change out cards in the middle of it, or if I was taking a lot of photos of my family and I had to change out cards halfway through the day or halfway through the trip, then I would make sure when I put in that second card that I start with whatever the next number is in my series. So if I had 200 images on the first card, I would want to start with 201 when I go to import the second card. All right, the next thing you're going to notice is these settings to apply during import. What I want you to do here is to keyword your images so that they're easy to find later. This is embedding tags in the metadata of your image so that you can search for them later. When kids keep coming into my office. Sorry, guys. Okay, but we're all moms, right? So we understand.
Does this have electrolytes?
No. Yes, it does. No, it doesn't have electrolytes. You can drink it.
It doesn't?
No, it's fine. All right, so you want to use keywords that describe your images, such as Mariana Caverns. I always put the name of my session in there. The location, Mariana, Florida. The month, June. The year, 2018. Family road trip. Caves. Hiking. Then I'll put the names of my kids and the ages. And I use both the number and the word of their age, just in case I search for one thing or the other. 4 years old, Isla. And I mean, you can keep going forever. You don't have to separate them by anything, or you can separate them with commas, however you'd like to do it. All right, so I have keyworded this as comprehensive as I can get. I might put like stalactites, stalagmites, anything that would describe these images. And then I'm going to go down here and figure out where I want to put them in. And this is actually transferring the images to your computer while you do this. So it's going to transfer the images wherever I put it. So I have a folder set up under my photographs. I have one for personal images and one for professional images. So this is personal. I'm going to use personal images. And on my hard drive, I have 2017 and 2018. This was taken in 2018. And then I have catalogs or different folders here for different things that we do. So I'm going to import these. And I shoot in RAW. So I always want to put my images into a RAW subfolder within my image for the particular folder, or within my folder for these particular images, so that I know where the originals were. So you may want to name it something like originals if you're going to edit your images later. But if not, you don't have to worry about putting it into a subfolder. I just like to do that automatically for my own purposes. Okay, so I don't have the folder that I'm looking for here. I don't have one that says Mariana Caverns, which is where we were. So I'm going to hold down Control, and I'm going to, or you can right click if you're using a PC. I'm going to click on 2018, and I'm going to hit Create New Folder. Okay, and then down here I'm going to hit New Folder. Create that, and I'm going to choose it. All right, and when I'm done with that, I'm just going to hit Import. And it's going to take a few minutes to import those images because they are large. All right, and I forgot to mention, I think I can import more. Nope, I can't. All right, so we're gonna wait for those to load. While they're loading, you can go ahead and start previewing them if you want to. Any image that you see, you can, in the grid here, you can double click it to make it big. And double click again to go back to your grid. Okay, and you can start working on these right away. You notice the folder is going to be right over here for us. You can also continue to add keywords if you need to, and you'll see here that you have the metadata. Okay, so while these are importing, I'll just go ahead and go over the different things that you're seeing here on your screen. So up here you have your different modules. This is the library module that we're working in now. The develop module is where you will obviously edit and develop your photos. I don't ever use map or book, so this one, if you have GPS data within your image, embedded into your image from your camera, it will show you on a map where your images were taken. It's very laggy though, so I don't like to click on it. You can also make slideshows. I use that a lot. You can print and you can export your photos directly to the web from Lightroom, which is pretty cool. So the layout here, what it's showing you, here you have your navigator, which is showing you the image that you have selected, or in your thumbnail, in your film strip down here, the image that you're hovering over. And of course you have your main photo viewing area. Right now that is set to grid, and we'll go over in another video the different viewing options. And then over here in this panel you have your histogram, which you may or may not want to know about. I'm not going to go into it in this video. And then you have your keywords and your metadata from the image. So this is telling me everything about this image, my copyright information. This is stuff that's in my camera, so when I take an image, all of this is written to the metadata of the image automatically. It tells you the capture time, capture date, the different dimensions of the image, exposure, focal length, what your ISO was. This is a great learning tool, and then what your camera and lens you used. So this is a great learning tool if you're looking at images and you're wanting to know what lens you shot with, or how you should have shot it maybe instead, what different choices you could have or should have made to get a different result. Anyway, that's that. You also have a slider here that you can make the size of your thumbnails bigger or smaller. All right, and this is done importing, so we can import again. And I forgot to mention, when you're importing from a card, if you're using raw images, you always want to use copy as a DNG, which is a digital negative, and that's the file format that Lightroom uses when you're importing raw images. If you are just using JPEG images, you can hit Add. Also, if you're importing images from a folder that already exists on your computer, you can hit Add. So I'm going to do that for you. I'm going to show you how to import images that are already on your computer. And I'm going to go to this particular folder because I know it's safe. These have been edited in another catalog, and they are raw images, so the edits are written to that DNG file, and they're going to populate into the new Lightroom catalog for me when I bring them over. So what you're seeing here is edited, and those edits will still be there when I bring them into this new catalog, even though they're already edited in another catalog. All right, so you have your options over here still for file handling and metadata. But these images are already named, and they're already in a folder on the hard drive, so it's not going to ask you to rename them or to put them in a folder. And you can keyword however you want to. I'm not going to do it again. All right, and then you just hit import, and it pulls all of those images over into this catalog. It does not move them from the hard drive, and it does not move them from another catalog. So this is just a copy of those images where you can view them in this particular catalog. And you see it's much faster because they're already loaded onto the computer. So there you have it. I have all of those images, and like I said, they are edited. So if I go over here to develop, well, we're not developing, so I'm not going to go through that at this time. All right, so that is it for importing and setting up your catalog. Join me in the next video, and we'll learn about the different views. Thanks.